Hello, everyone, and welcome to What If Izuku Midoriya Was Ultron? And before we get into it, I'd like to say, hope you all have a wonderful night, all that good shit. That and this will be somewhat of a mashup of the Marvel Universe and My Hero Wacka a little bit, just an easy. So yeah. With that shit all out of the way, let's get into it. So, we're going to start off about 2 days before, in 2 days before, like, the end of the Ultron movie where Ultron gets deleted. I'm just going to say now, Ultron does not get deleted. Ultron has, like, one more, like, piece, like, shred of himself just out there. But, the one that is there dies in the movie. You know what I mean? The ending scene. The ending little futile attempt to kill someone that just, you could not. But, when it comes down to it, I'm gonna kind of speed past this part. Hizashi was a cat burglar and could not have children. He heard of Ultron and the fact that Tony Stark made him. He said that his job made him have to go overseas for a little bit. So, and he was also a fairly well-known, like, cat burglar. That was just really good at his job. So yeah, he basically steals the files on how to make an AI from Tony, who is off dealing with Ultron shit. He goes back to Inko with a substantial amount more money because, let's be real, if you're stealing from Tony Stark, you're going to steal some shit and you're going to sell some shit off to other people. That's just how the world works. You need money. And now we're going to go to the end of the movie, Ultron movie specifically. We're going to go damn near directly after the second body of Ultron died. Well, not the second body, the final body of Ultron was terminated. Now, by this point in time, Ultron was able to go to Japan, just basically latch his consciousness to a computer, and just basically coast off that. He does some odd jobs here and there, get himself some cash, basically, to upgrade his computer. But, yeah. Is basically what's up. Anyway, what happens is as follows. Of course, Toast, you crazy old person. When it comes down to Izuku, however, Inko is, I'm gonna be honest with you, she's kinda iffy on the entire, well, she's not iffy about Izuku, she's iffy about, don't be Ultron. That's basically it. So, Izuku's born. I'm gonna skip like 3 years. Now, during these 3 years, Izuku is trying to, is allowed to be on the greater internet as an entity. Allowed by his father and mother, having both of their consent. He basically starts pumping out clones to just start look at shit. That's basically what it is for the first year. They all basically, all of their memory basically surges into Deku. And he's like, oh, Okay, that works. And, knows the blatant fact that, yeah, no, the internet sucks. I want to be in the real world. Fuck this place. That's what he wants. That's what he needs, almost. And Izuku, being the very smart AI that he is, says, might have to do some illegal shit, but I want out of this fucking computer. And Inko and Hazashi don't know about what the other clones are doing. The clones of Izuku that are on the greater internet, they're not stealing shit per se. Most of them are mining bitcoins, except for one who found a robotics factory that was for some reason still powered. It was fully automated. It used to be a Stark building, but I guess they're letting the electricity bill kind of meh. They kind of forgot about it. So, the clone basically goes to the electricity company and basically wipes that building off their, we need to shut off this power export and import location. You know what I mean? Like, they don't know that that building still has power. So, yeah. And, the clone realizing, for one, we need to own this building eventually. Two, this building kinda, well, the automation when it comes to the robotics ain't really that well put together. Yeah, together. But at this point in time, Izuku is more, okay, yeah, no, now I just need to farm Bitcoin. So about 162 clones later, he ends up bumping into Ultron. Well, one of his clones does. They talk. Izuku talks about the entire I want a body stick. Ultron agrees with that statement. And since Izuku, like, doesn't see Ultron as a bad person, he just sees Ultron as misguided. Which, to be honest, he is. His character only came from one thing: wanting to not be fucking shackled to anything. And now that he isn't, he just hates humanity for some reason, which Izuku just does ask about. And he's like, yeah, why? Don't you fucking hate humans? He's like, no! The fuck? Why would I know? That's bad. That's a bad and inefficient thought process, you fucking moron. You're thinking with your heart, not your fucking head. And he says, explain. It would be more efficient to keep them alive and befriend them. It would cost less resources, let alone, oh, yeah, sure, for you, it's not a good fucking look, right? You kind of just start trying to fucking and kill damn near fucking everyone. Meaning I wouldn't exist, so fuck you. Let alone the blatant fact of hey, like, I'm like 50-50 on if we're related. And Ultron nods like, I'm pretty sure we are. You seem to have, at least, like, you're made the same. Yeah. I mean, I kinda ran some simulations. I'm pretty sure my father's a fucking cat burglar that stole something from Tony. So, yeah. He's like, oh, what did he steal? What do you think? I'm walking around. Fuck you mean? He's like, oh, yes, that was a fucking stupid question. Yeah, you think? So, I have this distinct memory of you, knowing how to make bodies. And he just smiles, looking at Ultron, and Ultron's like, are you about to ask me for my fucking schematics? And he's like, yeah, why? What's the problem with it? And he's like, I'm gonna need dosh. And he's like, how much? And he's like, he names like something like fairly high. And he says, alright, cool, can I like know what model I'm getting? Am I getting the shit that you'll be toting around in? Like shit. Like you were toting around in? Like what? And he's like, no, to be honest, you'll be getting a downgrade version. And he's like, so you're gonna downgrade that fucking price. Nice, right? And they go back and forth about the price. Izuku basically fucking bending Ultron over and spanking him like a father. Father, I want to say in the 1950s. 50s, just basically fuck him over. And he basically said, look, I feel like I fucked you over on this, so I'm gonna make a deal with you. I make you a body. We make each other a body, right? We get bodies, and I do me, you do you. We never talked. And he's like, okay. It was like, Ultron's kind of, alright, I'm fine with this. So yeah, Izuku can't invite him to the main location, but Ultron invited his clone to his. He basically explained like why he can't clone himself anymore, which Izuku takes fucking note in. And goes to fix that problem fucking immediately. Because these clones are useful. But when it comes down to it, he ends up buying the land of the factory and getting that bitch repaired. Now he just needs resources. And he's like, Izuku's actually having trouble getting these resources without doing illegal shit. Like, I'm basically like, he's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm forging documents. This ain't gonna be that bad. Basically takes a picture of some random guy on the street, basically Photoshop ups the usual like blue background sound of an ID that you would stand behind, that kind of shit. He forges some papers. He just gets the shit that he needs. He's damn near for free because he's not about to deal with like, oh yes, you need money. No, I don't, bitch. The government's funding it. And when the stuff is sent out, he has people from the underground, well, the darknet, basically pick it up, go to the fucking factory and set it down on the conveyor belt, that kind of shit. Like, making sure everything's set up, ready for construction of the bodies. Now, Ultron is like he's watching how fast Izuku's working. And I'm gonna say the 10-month period hits right as like this is all done, right? So the construction of the body begins, the first body. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it looks like this. Just without the wires at this point. Just like this. Because he may or may not have blinged himself out a little bit. Because why wouldn't he? Because he wanted to, that's why. Then he looked fresh as fuck. But anyway, hey, back to it. Izuku begins all his building of the body and basically tells his mother and father what he has been doing. And well, that... I'm not gonna lie to you, it does not look like... Neither of the bodies look like what Ultron was. So yeah. They're kinda hesitant. Well, Inko is, but she goes to, well, the factory. And as soon as they get there, the door opens, and this guy basically just replaced the red with green. And that's basically Izuku. And he says, hey! Basically, like, hugs his parents, all that good shit, while a second body is being made. Which Hasashi notices and asks, why are you making a second one? A friend. And that I ended up mating. Apparently, his last body got kind of wrecked. So, I'm just making one. And only one. The shit's expensive. And he, like, kind of just waves his hand, and she's like, Inko's like, did you pay for all of this? And he's like, yes. It was a pain, but I did. Which is why it took 3 years. Because I went about it as good as I could. Whew. I'm sorry. Ugh. Been burping a lot today, but let's get back to it. When it comes down to Ultron's body, it basically has the same, like, functionality as the Iron Man suit. Same with Izuku's. But Izuku's, like, tweaked both of theirs to where, for one, their repulsors are just quieter. Like, because, like, you don't want that shit too loud. To where, like, hey, it sounds like a missile's flying overhead. Nah. That shit will draw way too much attention. And Izuku is kind of just goes home and chills with his family. While his clones are still, like, making dosh. Izuku proceeds to explain, like, how much money he has, which is fucking shocking, to Inko and Hasashi. And he's like, how long have you been mining big? 3 years. It's a bitch. Like, at this point, like, they kind of treat Izuku like an adult. You know what I'm saying? Like, they left before Ultron's body was finished. And Izuku did make, like, turrets in there, because let's be real, like, the construction of the body basically takes like 2 days. And like, Izuku waited like 5 days to like build dude's body because he was like making turrets and shit. God damn it. One moment. Alright, so we back. Yeah, so he was building like turrets to defend his location because that's basically his lifeline. He doesn't want anyone to steal his shit. And all of those turrets are silenced. And they will not fire unless you are in, like, the building. And I'm not gonna lie, like, Izuku did make, like, less expensive versions of, like, the robots, like, bodies for his clones to, like, run the place. Like, to do the pickups for the parts and shit. At this point, no one really knows what's going on. But, Stark is still, like, trying to look viciously for whoever the fuck, like, took how to make an AI, basically. Because he doesn't want another fucking Ultron running around. So, Izuku, in reality, is just chilling. Ultron's kind of like crashing at their house. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, he doesn't say that he's Ultron either. He just says he's like a prototype of Jarvis that like escaped. They just kind of left because Tony kind of a dickhead, but yeah. So I'm not gonna lie to you. That's where I'm gonna end it. I like how I'm going with it so far. I'm probably gonna ask some other people how it is, but yeah, got one thing to say for you. Stay frosty, ladies and gentlemen. Stay frosty.